Hello everyone. So these next couple of videos are going to be about the last unit about moles and stuff. But I'm going to start with something that doesn't involve moles. I'm going to do formula mass and percent composition. So yeah, I'm just going to get started. So let's start with molecular mass. So molecular mass is the sum of the atomic masses, which is just those masses on the periodic table, of all the elements in a compound. So basically, what this means is, say you have a compound, let's say sulfuric acid, just H2SO4. If it asked you to find the molecular mass of sulfuric acid, what you would do is you would add up all the masses from the periodic table of each element. But you do have to account for the subscript because compound formula shows you how many in each molecule of elements you have. So in this molecule you have 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur, and 4 oxygens. So when you do the calculation, you have to do 2 times 1.01 U. U is just, it can also be AMU, that's just atomic mass units. And then this is mass rounded to the hundreds place. Round masses to hundredths place. So just remember to do that. So sig figs work out also because each element on the periodic table, some of them have multiple roundings. You know, each one's taken out to a different place based on what we know about it. So this just keeps it simple. So back to sulfuric acid, it's going to be 2 plus hydrogen's mass. And since we have 1 sulfur, that's just going to be sulfur's mass. And then we have 4 oxygens. And then remember that you're taking about to the hundreds place. When you round up, it's 16, but put 0.00. And then just add that all together. I definitely recommend using your scientific calculator. It will make this so much easier because it's really smart. The fancy graphing calculator, you know, you can just plug it in just like that. And when we do moles later, it'll really be helpful, that I found. Okay, so then back to this. You put this all in the calculator and you get it, and that is the answer, and that's it. So that's how you find molecular mass. So formula mass is basically the exact same thing. It is the sum of the atomic masses of all elements in an ionic compound. Because when you have the formula for an ionic compound, such as magnesium chloride, ionic compound shows the ratio. So unlike molecular, you actually have that number of elements. Ionic, this is just the ratio. In each crystal, there's 1 magnesium for every 2 chloride. And so the formula mass is just the name they give it when it's an ionic compound, but you do the exact same thing. You take the mass of magnesium to the hundredths place, plus 2, since you have 2 chlorides, to the hundredths place, add it up, and that is 95.21, and it's the exact same thing. So while technically formula mass and molecular mass are not interchangeable, you're probably on the test and stuff just going to see it all labeled as formula mass. It's basically the umbrella term, and it means the exact same thing. Just if you see formula, molecular, if you say formula weight, molecular weight, whatever, just go to the periodic table, add up all the elements. And remember to add up every element, like if you have one of those ions from the back. Remember to do each one. Okay, so that's formula mass, molecular mass, which should be pretty simple. So next is percent composition by mass. So percent composition by mass is it expresses the mass of a compound in terms of the individual percentages of its components. So basically this will give you a percent, and kind of the general form of it. Say you had percent A of something, you would take the number of atoms of A you had, so that subscript number, times the atomic mass of the number of the element, and then you would divide it by the formula mass of the whole compound A came from. And then that would give you, and then you would multiply it by 100. And that percent is just a unit. It's not, you wouldn't multiply it by 100%. You multiply it by the number 100. And that will give you your percentage. So say we just do magnesium chloride again. So we already found the formula mass for it. So say you wanted the percent of magnesium. So there's only one subscript. So you can just put its mass again over that formula mass times 100. So that way you can get that, get it into a percent. And then just plug this all in the calculator, and that will give you 25. Remember sig figs, as you've seen on the owls. So that's the percent in this compound that magnesium takes up. And then if you were to do chlorine, same thing. And then that gives you, obviously, you could, if you only had like 2, or if you had 3 and you got the other 2, you could just subtract by 100. But that way, just so you show your work, you get all the points. And also that way, in case you put something in the calculator wrong, you can go back and know that you're correct. So that's it for molecular formula mass and percent composition. Someone told me I should say to subscribe at the end of the video. I would ask y'all to do that, so that way I don't have to tell everyone when I put videos up. That makes it a little bit easier for me. And also I will be holding a Zoom review session next Saturday at 2 o'clock. So just text me, email me, talk to me, and I will give you the link, and feel free to share it with anyone else who might be interested. And if you can't make it, I will record it and send it out. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.